Give you one piece of advice. Be honest. He knows more than you can imagine.
Welcome, everyone, to a guided exploration of knowledgeable meaning, an eye-opening trip that carries you through my viewpoints, leading you up the truthful path. Today, we're going to explore several complex yet crucial topics in a convoluted way to arrive at a very simple conclusion. Be willing to see what has been right in front of your eyes all along, but has often been overlooked. Developing your reasoning to acquire knowledge through the revelation method that uses empirical observation, rationalism, authority, tradition, intuition, personal experience, inductive reasoning, and deductive reasoning. And of course, the scientific method will reveal the truth for those seeking to find truth himself, shining a true light on your paths to the reality that many people avoid. From my perspective, you will gain valuable insights that will leave you inspired and curious. To learn more, join me on this engaging journey where news, podcast, interviews, lectures, constructive criticism, and humor blend together. We'll present information in a strategic and innovative way, adhering to the truth. So come with an open mind. Our research has been thorough, and we're ready to share our findings with you, even if that means we sometimes sound harsh, crude, or cold. In the spirit of the book of John 1:17, in the beginning was the Word. We'll harness the power of language, power given by the Word himself. Let's embark on this journey together and allow it to inspire meaningful reflections and actions. I am your friend and narrator on this journey. I'm the cynical thinker, and I welcome you to the true revelation of the method. I will now introduce myself and explain why I chose the name The Cynical Thinker. This is important, so please indulge me while I have your attention. As you can see, cynical is a word that is often misunderstood. Quite a lot can be said about Diogenes. Two quotes in particular spring to mind. It represents the spirit in which I am doing this. I know I will be criticized for it, criticisms that I will gladly accept in the style of Diogenes. There isn't much more that can be said about the word thinker that you didn't already know, but I'll leave it up to you. Otherwise, we'll end up making a video for every word and its true meaning. I'll remind you that
time is always against us.
Indeed it is. Moving forward, I will unveil a multitude of secrets through this channel, utilizing various forms of media such as news articles, podcasts, lectures, symposiums, programs, conversations. Remember that, according to them, time is short and the clock is ticking.
Announced they've moved the minute hand on the clock to 89 seconds to midnight. That's closer to doomsday than ever before.
What is the focus of the clock? All of those willing to learn, to listen, to see. For those who can sense that something is moving in the shadows, in the darkness of the day and the night. But especially, I'm here to reach the ones who think they have all things figured out. who believe they are awake, who believe they are in control, because such ones are the most lost.
The Doomsday Clock was founded in 1945 by Albert Einstein and J. Robert Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer oversaw the creation of the first atomic bomb, which was dropped on Japan during World War II.
We set the clock closer to midnight because we do not see sufficient positive progress on the global challenges we face.
I refer to them, they, and those. I like everybody. To me, all are one and the same. Small and great, left and right, back and front, rich and poor, uneducated or educated.
Including nuclear risk, climate change, biological threats, and advances in disruptive technologies.
Black or white, hard-worked or lazy, hyperactive or slow, free and bound, smart or cognitively limited, progressives or conservatives, Republicans or Democrats, liberal or authoritarian, capitalist or socialist. So are you saying that those threats are like coming or something?
You serious? Pay for what? Standing there? The planetarium tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. There's the door.
And stood at the epicenter of a city that remains scarred by the unimaginable horror caused by a single nuclear bomb dropped in 1945, 80 years ago.
Asking is praying, let me show you. The videos are not just news, enjoyment stuff, or laughs or information that leads to knowledge and teachings.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
I make them to give you understanding, understood knowledge, because without understanding, all the knowledge that you possess and acquire through years of studying, reading, schooling, living is far less helpful. Remember, knowledge without understanding is chaos.
It's going to be a crisis. It'll be maybe a mass casualty event.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Economic meltdown.
To have a recession. Let's have a recession.
Susan Lucius, who runs our Team Cash, is amazing. So she's an MIT engineer. And so she said when people didn't understand the power of using cash, and she was trying to explain programmable money, she said, here's what programmable money is. You know, when they say they have nothing to lose. She says, the government's calling you, Mrs. Jones, to tell you that unless you transgender your 3 children, we're turning off your money.
She thinking small. We need to be thinking big. You need to be thinking big. You need to be thinking big. Think big.
We need water.
Humans can go days without water, so relax.
That is 100% not true.
Oh yeah? How long then?
Yeah, I don't know. 19 hours?
19? I've slept 19 hours without water, you idiot.
Who sleeps that long?
I had a bad day.
She said, how do you feel about that?
Right.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
During this period, you won't be able to buy or sell unless you surrender your sovereignty and free will.
The central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of central bank liability. And also, we will have the technology to enforce that. The technology to enforce that. To enforce that. To enforce that. To enforce that.
Now imagine the tap runs dry.
No water for a full day. Not a single drop from the faucet. This isn't far-fetched. Hurricanes, ice storms. And even routine maintenance in rural areas have left families without running water.
To enforce that.
So here's your challenge. For 24 hours, don't use any water that relies on utilities. How do you think you'll fare? Stop and think through some scenarios that you'll face when you turn the main water line off for your home for just one day. Do you have enough stored for drinking? What about cooking? Don't forget flushing toilets or washing your hands. These are all important items that can't get overlooked. A lot of folks don't realize how much water they actually use until it's gone. In a survival situation, a family of 4 can easily go through about 10 gallons a day. That includes drinking, cooking, and sanitation, such as washing hands and sponge baths. Here are some quick tips you should consider. Fill your bathtub and large pots with water ahead of a storm. Store water in gallon jugs or 5-gallon containers in a cool, dark place. Set up a simple hand washing station with a spigot, jug, soap, and towels. Dump a bucket of water from your bathtub into your toilet to flush it. And consider an alternate toilet setup, like we have, called the Ready Loo.
World War III will pop off, you know, whether it's in the Taiwan Strait or it's in Iran or it's, but the war is coming.
This isn't some made-up science fiction story. This is the reality of what's at stake, what we are facing now. Because as we stand here today, closer to the brink of nuclear annihilation than ever before, political elite and warmongers are carelessly fomenting fear and tensions between nuclear powers. And perhaps it's because they are confident that they will have access to nuclear shelters for themselves and for their families that regular people won't have access to.
In July, this is the best part, Bibi Netanyahu visits the White House for the 3rd time on 7/7. 2025. I'm not making this up. Google the timeline. All of these things are hurtling towards us, and then it's going to explode, and a sleeping giant will wake up. America will wake up.
Speak up and demand an end to this madness. We must reject this path to nuclear war and work toward a world where no one has to live in fear of a nuclear holocaust.
On July 7th, 7/7/25, add 2 + 5. I'm not a numerology guy, but it's a little weird.
Because you are incredibly distracted.
You little scumbag! You will not laugh! You will not cry! You will learn by the numbers! I will teach you! Now get up!
Clark, watch this.
Yeah, okay. Got it.
The Doomsday Clock was founded in 1945 by Albert Einstein and J. Robert Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer oversaw the creation of the first atomic bomb, which was dropped on Japan during World War II.
The spiritual battle has started. You just don't know it yet. You just don't see it yet. You just don't feel it deeply enough. The world is in tribulation. You just don't see it.
Einstein's clock is exactly 1 minute behind mine and still ticking.
And you need to wake up for real, because I'm really, really sure that you are still asleep. You are in the face of your dream. That is when you can feel it and don't quite kick out of it.
Einstein's clock is exactly 1 minute behind mine and still ticking.
That moment when you almost realize you are awake, and you better wake up before a greater tribulation starts. That's what the 88 represents to them, to they, to those.
Einstein's clock is exactly...
In their timeline, in their clock, you will either pick a side or be erased.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
And then comes the fallout. Radioactive poison spreading through the air, water, and soil, condemning survivors to agonizing deaths or lifelong suffering.
We're about to go into a dark winter. A dark winter.
A nuclear winter could follow, with smoke and ash completely blocking the sun, plunging the world into darkness and cold, killing crops and starving billions. The bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima had a yield of just 15 kilotons of TNT, whereas today's nuclear warheads range in size from 100 kilotons to over 1 megaton. A single nuclear weapon today could kill millions in just minutes. Just one of these nuclear bombs would vaporize everything at its core: people, buildings, life itself. The shockwave would crush structures miles away, killing and maiming countless people. And then comes the fallout.
The temporal displacement occurred exactly 1/28 seconds! The temporal displacement occurred exactly 1/28 seconds! The temporal displacement occurred exactly 1/28 seconds! The temporal displacement... The temporal displacement... The temporal displacement...
Ah, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Doc, you disintegrated Einstein.
Calm down, Marty, I didn't disintegrate anything.
Elon Musk enters the Oval Office for the last time in the middle of May with a black eye. Remember that? Or did that get memory hold? Elon Musk steps into the Oval Office for the final time in the middle of May with a giant black eye.
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible. And you can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
And has never been on the side of truth, because there is no truth in him.
Trump later commented that Elon was offered makeup to cover it up, but Trump cryptically said he refused the makeup because he wanted people to see it.
I'm sitting at this big banquet table, and all the victims of all the murders I ever worked are sitting at this table, and they're staring at me with these black eyeballs because they got 8-ball hemorrhages. from the head wounds.
See, it's the highest honor they can give you. It means you belong to a family and a crew. It means that nobody can fuck around with you. It also means you could fuck around with anybody just as long as they aren't also a member. It's like a license to steal. It's a license to do anything.
Because he wanted people to see it.
You're of your father, the devil. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. And because I tell you the truth, you believe me not.
America's a sleeping giant, and this is why we want to wake up the country.
Please, wake up.
And all it's going to take, watch. Watch.
Even Nick is getting the gist of it.
And I just hope that we have a benevolent tyrant.
I am the chosen one.
I just hope that whoever that tyrant is, because that's kind of the last card that we have to play here. Whoever emerges, whether it will be of the left or of the right, I just hope that tyrant will be benevolent.
President Clinton, President Bush, and President Obama and others should have done this long before me.
It's like, what if everything blew up?
And then comes the fallout.
My life would be much easier, although I enjoy doing it, but my life would be much easier.
Perhaps it's because they are confident that they will have access to nuclear shelters for themselves and for their families that regular people won't have access to.
And some forceful warlord seized power, like we're at French Revolution levels of chaos and dysfunction. You know, the late Tsarist Russia levels of dysfunction. That's clearly where this is headed. And by the way, I don't say this because I want that to happen. I don't say this because I think that will be good. I think it will be horrifying. And I think it's preventable, but...
An order comes after chaos. Sometimes that order will be very tyrannical and always authoritarian.
So it's up to us, the people, to speak up and demand an end to this madness.
But Trump was the opportunity to stop all this, and it didn't happen. So I say that with great sadness and wariness, but I feel like that's where we're headed. I've been telling you that.
He's trying to convince the public.
We must reject this path to nuclear war and work toward a world where no one has to live in fear of a nuclear holocaust.
To have a recession. Let's have a recession.
See, a neutral spot for warring factions, a safe haven for even the crooks. Remember, during this period, you won't be able to buy or sell unless you surrender your sovereignty and free will. I hope you enjoy this video, and if you didn't like it, thank you for watching this far. I sincerely hope the next video is more entertaining, offering you more enjoyable and meaningful minutes, with my honest hope that it leaves you with some understood knowledge. So what time is it? I'm here, starting to make videos for all of you. Find a spiritual blacksmith so he can forge your spiritual full armor. Are forged with knowledge, correct understanding. Take action. I'm posting on other platforms such as Rumble, BitChute, and soon on TikTok. I will see how to work on X, since at my second or third post, a simple screenshot of a Bible verse and my point of view on what that verse truly says. My account was pulverized. I'm on a path to share truth and uplift those in need, and I'm looking for partners/saint patrons who value purpose and mutual growth. Supporting this work isn't charity. It's an investment in a shared vision. When you give, whether through time, talent, or resources, you're aligning with a principle as old as Scripture. Generosity to the poor is lending to the divine, and such faithfulness doesn't go unrewarded. True strength is found not in holding on, but in giving freely, for it is indeed more blessed to give than to receive. If you're interested in learning more about how you can help, please reach out. This isn't about handouts, it's about hand-ups. By contributing, you help sustain a movement of truth and liberty, and in turn, position yourself to receive wisdom and support when life demands more than you can carry alone. Generosity flows both ways,